Hope y'all are having a great day. We have got an easy little bracelet demo to wrap the week up. We're gonna make a really classic, kind of elegant bracelet, a 3-strand bracelet. But I realized I've never done a crimping, stringing demo. I mean, not that there's anything really to show you with stringing beads, because I think most of you know how to string beads, but I will show you how to string a bead if you don't know. But we're gonna do crimping. I love crimping. It is one of the most foundational techniques in making jewelry. So the fact that I haven't done a demo on it is kind of crazy. Tool-wise, we are using a crimping tool. So we're gonna do a little 3-strand bracelet. I've got 1 strand of just the tourmaline and the gold beads. I've got 1 strand with the pearls mixed with the tourmaline, and then just 1 strand of the gold beads just by itself, just to add just a totally different kind of unexpected layer there. That just draws your eye in. You know, the gold strand may be what catches your eye, but when you get up close, the tourmaline and the pearl is what keeps you looking at it and what makes you really want to think about buying it or think about making it. If you've got a craft show coming up, or if you sell your jewelry somewhere, you need a hook. And sometimes that hook is something that you wouldn't think it would be. Sometimes the hook is just this weird little, it's not weird. I mean, there's this random little gold strand and it catches someone's eye, and then they're like, oh wait, look at the rest of it. Oh my gosh. Anyways, so I laid my pattern, usually use a bead board because I'm not organized enough to use a bead board. You guys know this about me. This gives me anxiety being this aligned on a pad. Okay, but I did it for you guys. So, and even it's still crooked, but that's okay. It's kind of hard to lay these out on the bead board because they're gonna lay flat on the bead board, but they're not gonna lay flat on the bracelet. So it's hard to kind of guesstimate how much you're gonna need. That's why I did just a kind of an easy repetitive pattern so that we can measure as we're stringing and then just stop when we have enough. So all of them, they don't require like a middle necessarily, because if I had to have that'd be real hard for me to determine kind of where the middle is because of the way these are gonna lay on the bead board. So you can lay them out and you can put your gold beads in between each one. I found that highly unnecessary, but you can if you want. Just fill this up with your gold beads. Make sure you're doing a gold bead on the end though of each one. That's gonna kind of smooth the transition to your crimp bead. Having that little gold bead there just to kind of soften that transition from that tourmaline rondelle to your crimp bead. If you just got like you've got your tourmaline rondelle and it's like this shape, and then if you have like a little baby crimp bead, like that space right there can make it hard, can make it awkward when you're putting your clasp on. So you always want to like sort of taper a little bit to your crimp bead if you can. And that's just gonna make it a little bit easier and more comfortable on your fingers when you're trying to put your bracelet on. I know it seems like these are small rondelles, like how in the way can that be? But when you've got 3 up next to each other, 3 strands, if you're not tapering towards that clasp, it's gonna get real bulky where those come together. So that's an important thing to keep an eye out for. My next strand that I did was gold bead, tourmaline, gold bead, pearl. That's my pattern. I just wanted to and I didn't worry about shading it. I think I just put them in here as they came off the strand, but on this one, on the other one, I kind of mixed them all together. Just to create kind of like another, what do you call it? Motif a little bit. So I've got a shaded strand and I've got one where they're all kind of mixed together. Just creates, you know, more interest. Making sure that each strand is like its own unique little thing just elevates the overall look of the final piece. And then I've got my one strand with just my gold beads. And I would just wear this by itself. I love these. I love these gold beads, y'all. These are technically crimp beads, but in my mind, they're not crimp beads, they're gold beads. They don't look like crimp beads to me, but you get like, you get like 1,800 of them or something, or I don't even know. There's so many that you get 2 bags of them. There's a ton of gold beads. And what I put in the in the show, why did I say stone? Comes with wire. It comes with steel micro wire. I have got everything strung up for you guys because I figured you did not want to watch me do that. Oh, but I did tell you, I would show you. If you don't know how to string a bead, if you've never made jewelry before, this is your stainless steel wire. It is usually coated with nylon, but it's a bunch of little stainless steel wires that are all braided and twisted together and then coated in wire. So it's very, very sturdy. It's gonna last you a long time. Really pliable, really bendy, but it comes in different sizes, comes in different colors. The most common though is this stainless steel color, and that's what you're gonna get with the little crimp bead, gold bead things. But this, like I said, this is kind of the most foundational thing that you learn when you're first learning how to make jewelry. So your bead has a hole in it. If it's a bead, it has a hole in it, hopefully. Ideally. So we've got your bead, and you're just going to slide your wire straight through that hole. Ta-da! And then you just keep on stringing, and there's lots of little tricks for how to make stringing easier. Stringing is not my favorite thing to do. I avoid it at all costs if I can, and I try to make it easier for myself. I don't know why. I just don't like it. But there's different ways, like if you're pulling off of like a strand like this, one way that I kind of cheat is I'll grab several in my finger and pull them off the strand together like that, and I hold them together like that so they don't move, and then feed my wire through, and it goes through all of them together like that. So you can really string a lot faster when you kind of learn these little tricks to stringing. We've got a bead spinner that you can use to string beads. If you're using like seed beads, little things like that. Lots of different ways to make it easier on yourself. But let's talk about crimping. So crimp beads are these little tube beads that are pretty thin. We're gonna like fold them in half and then fold them in half again, but you got your little tube there, and it's got a hole in it, and we're gonna string our wire in there, and then we're gonna use that to attach our clasp. Like that. So we'll grab one of our wires here. We're gonna start with my gold bead, and I'm gonna attach these, we're gonna go straight to jump rings on these. So I've got a couple jump rings, just make sure that's closed up. All right, so I'm going to string my crimp bead on my wire, and then we're gonna add our jump ring, and then we're gonna double this wire back on itself, and we're gonna come back through the crimp bead. Pull that up tight next to your wire. We don't want it too tight. You want enough of a loop there where your jump ring can move around, but not too much that you're seeing that a lot of that stainless steel wire, and if you do too much, you're gonna affect the overall length of your bracelet. So make sure you're getting it pulled up pretty tight. This is your crimping plier. This plier comes with little grooves in it. So you've got 2 grooves on this side, and then, I don't know, several on that side. So we're gonna start in this back groove on this side. Your first crimp is gonna be in that guy back there, the groove closest to your hand. So we're gonna put that in there. Give that a squeeze. And it squeezes it into like a C shape, like a little bit like a Pac-Man. And then we're gonna rotate it 90 degrees, and your next crimp is going to be in the groove furthest from your hand. So that outside groove there, and we're just gonna finish off that fold. So we got the fold started, and then boop, finish it off like that. And then I like to go in and just kind of squeeze it real tight with the end of my pliers like that. And that is not going anywhere. That's never gonna come out of there. Don't never say never, but highly unlikely. Then we're gonna go in with plier 61, our flush cutter, snip that end off, and there you go, we've got one side attached. And now we'll do the other side. So we're gonna drop our beads down. They're gonna fall all to the other side. And then we're gonna grab another crimp bead. We're gonna drop that on our wire again. And we're gonna grab another jump ring. Just gonna make sure that's closed. All right, drop that jump ring on our wire. And again, we're gonna come back through our crimp bead like that, and then we're gonna pull and pull and pull. Pull your wire up tight there. Not too tight. We still want to be able to bend this really well. We want that to have a lot of movement, but we want to pull as much slack out of there as we can so that we don't have a big gap. You don't want any big gaps between your beads and your crimp bead. Just keep it nice and tight right there, but just make sure you got it. You're not really gonna have to worry about it with little beads. You get more, you have to worry about the flexibility more when you start using bigger beads. It becomes harder to bend the tighter you pull your wire, but we don't really have to worry about it with these size beads. So again, we're gonna go in with our crimping plier, and we're gonna use the groove closest to our hand. So that back groove there, the groove closest to that dot, that thing, whatever that is. And slide that in there. Squeeze, get that C shape started. Let me get this jump ring out of the way. There we go. And then turn it 90 degrees, and we're gonna finish off the fold in the front groove. Just give that a squeeze. Pinch it nice and tight. And see, that just kind of like blends in with those gold beads right there. It's a little bit different metal tone, but not enough to where you could see really. And then we'll just clip that wire off with our plier 61. So we've got one ready to go. Now we got two more. So I'm gonna speed this up a little bit for you guys. Then we'll finish this off, and then we'll add our clasp. There we go. Okay, so for our clasp, I've got a lobster claw. If you like toggles, you can use a toggle. If you like magnetic clasps, you can use magnetic clasp. I, for some reason, always use a lobster claw, even though it's like the least easy to use. But I grabbed some chain too. So I've got these little jump rings here and they open up. So these are all open jump rings. So I'm just gonna, I should have brought another plier, but never fear, the studio's here. And we have everything we could ever want in this little studio. Okay, another plier. So this is how I open and close my jump rings because my fingers just don't cut it sometimes, most of the time. So you're gonna just twist your jump ring open. We're not gonna pry open like that. We're gonna twist, like rock it back and forth. So it's kind of open, it's just pried open. It's not pulled open because you don't want to deform your jump ring. You'll never ever get it back into a round shape and get it closed nicely if you just split it apart. So while I've got that open, be careful not to like let any of your strands fall out. Then we're just going to add that extender chain on there, and then we'll grab that. You know what? Never mind. Okay, close that up. And you've got one side of your clasp done. Flip it over, and then we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna grab a hold of our jump rings here. Just rock that open. Grab your lobster claw, slide that right on your jump ring, and then we're gonna go back in, close that up, and we're done. I guess I gotta put it on now. I don't know if I can put it on by itself, but, and then you can like twist it if you want before you put it on. So you get like, you can see them all. But I just thought it was a nice, fun, kind of elegant combo, but a little bit more, a little toned down demo compared to our party earrings today. But I love doing multi-strand bracelets. I love a good stack bracelet, and if they come all together, that's even easier. Check out the links in the description below. And while you're down there, I want to know what your favorite type of clasp is. Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you don't miss any future videos. Bye, y'all.